or just your music? Oh, we're getting ready to be live. Hey, y'all, we live. So if I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at him
That's right.
behind that
We are
field.
live. It's
Okay,
another
we're
edition of
live.
Story Behind the Music. I'm Darren Story. And as you can
Man,
see, I brought him in right away. I didn't even wait.
oh,
DJ,
wait, just so y'all know, I am practicing,
yeah, but it's just me and you. And you can't
and then
get
ain't
better
nobody by
social
me.
distance. You can't get better social distancing than
Yeah,
this,
right?
right?
Out here with the trees.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. My name is Darren Story. Once again, this is Story Behind the Music. This is my podcast where I engage people from the music business on all facets. And right now, I'm totally entrenched in the Minneapolis music sound, and of course Prince. And this is my third podcast, and I do it every other week. I don't do it every week. Yeah, and so one of the people that I needed to get on this show was a man who actually indoctrinated us, my band, my friends, Grand Jury back in 1986 and became our manager and was really responsible for these plaques behind me. If I hadn't met this dude, none of this stuff probably be on
Now,
this
you lucky
wall.
'cause I didn't get none of those.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, man. We'll have to work on that. DJ Cowboy, also known as Todd Hunter,
See, you put my name out there. See, now the
Entertainment.
government gonna get a hold to me.
Yeah, man. How are you, man?
Huh?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm out here in the wonderful, wonderful Las Vegas. During the first weekend, it's a slow opening, but it's happening. They got it. They got it open. I'm on the strip now, trying to
Right?
make it happen.
I hear you, man. So, um, a lot of people don't know the connection and how we came to be, but in 1986, I was part of a band called Grand Jury, and we decided to move to Minneapolis. Minneapolis was only about 450 miles north of us of I-35. The Minneapolis sound was popping off like crazy.
I think
Groups were
that's
getting signed, and we got there, and we had a mutual friend, William Counts, and William Counts put us up so that we could start making our way, infiltrating the Minneapolis music sound. And he introduced us to this man right here, DJ Cowboy, who was DJing everywhere in town, it seemed. But our favorite spot, honestly, was Yaz over in St. Paul. We pretty much own that club. And so, Cowboy, you had a lot. You've been a part of that industry. You saw it happen right before your eyes. Just give people a sense of what it was like when you were back there in the Twin Cities and watching the Minneapolis sound and the pandemonium, Prince, and all that. Tell us where you were watching this happen and how you were a part of it.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to be like, well, hold on. I didn't just watch. I was in that shit.
No,
I mean,
that's what I'm
stuff
saying.
too.
You were part of it, man. Hey, yeah, I know. That's why
Right.
you're here.
Well, we started out. We was all friends though, and back then, everybody thought it was all roses and champagne back in the day. It wasn't like that. Wasn't a lot of places for bands to play, and DJs was going against bands, or it got a little easier for them to have a DJ get in it. But DJs like me and some of us others, we had to become promoters as well. So a lot of band people were just band people. You a star,
Right.
but DJs are personalities, and if you're gonna make your personality do anything, you're gonna have to promote yourself because nobody
Right.
like yourself, right? So basically, that's what it was. As everybody was coming up, we was, people was in their basements and playing in little divey bars. In that case, divey black bars, because there wasn't a whole lot of bars that bands could play in. And then crossover came along about that time when we're talking about. So it made it easy for DJs doing crossover music to get into some of these bars, but some bands still couldn't get in. So my little trick, I didn't know it was a trick. It's like I knew it now, but back then the idea was it was all about love. I'm giving love to them, but sometimes they play a gig and then they need somebody to kick the music off when they're doing it. So what happened
Right.
was a lot of bands played after me because I already had a following. So when they come out the basement with a new song, guess what? Who was in a club that you can test them songs on? So that's a lot of that was how it happened, because people just think that it was just studios everywhere and you woke up and musicians was musicians and everybody was rich. Nope. Everybody was poor and we shared rides going places, shared. And see, it's a pandemic, so you wouldn't be sharing no horn with nobody today, Darren, right?
No,
see,
no, not the
so
kid.
it was kind of like that. We all had the opportunity to mix it up. So the mix up for me was I was always able to be crossover with everything, because I'm gonna be me regardless of what happened. You heard me?
Right.
So while I was doing it that way, then we had Prince was doing his thing, but still everybody was like, man, that dude. See, everybody wasn't really on that, but he wanted to be in with the crowd. And then the crowd, DJs had the crowd. So you could play anywhere you want to, but you ain't got no people, you ain't getting no money. And it was really that simple. But we started to get together and play. And then you guys came along, and trust me, at first I was like, no. I'm going to just keep being me, because I was full of me. As you can see, I still am. And then, so who was that? That was William.
Yep.
And I got this band. I got that. I was like, man, look. And then at the same time, there was another little band called Mint Condition. They were still in high school about that time.
That's right.
And then my other boy, Anthony Johnson, was like, man, you got to manage this band. I'm like, man, I ain't managing nothing but this money. So I had a couple of gigs in some clubs that had people that was big enough to put people in. And then I thought about it. I was like, well, if a band was playing, I could go out and drink. I ain't got to keep playing. That's a good idea. So then we put on a couple shows, and then once I got my guys, which is grand jury, or like we say, the jury.
The jury.
I had them. Then we had another band called. Well, I didn't have a band. Another band called Vision, and The Crash, and well, it was a couple. Wasn't there was one more? Mint Condition. So we was all every week got together. We all had these warehouses, because I used to throw warehouse parties. And raves back in the day. So in that same warehouse, you say, why not put up a stage and make it happen? But I've always been about talent from day one. There's people that be like, man, why are you even messing with me? So what I did was, DJs are only going to go so far, is what I used to tell everybody. Right. But you get a record deal, you going on tour, and I'm going to be right with you. So I thought. But anyway, that was the thought. The thought process was, there wasn't a whole bunch of spots. I know y'all getting dizzy because I'm trying to hold this on my knee. The thing was, we tried to get the groups together, and everybody played together until suddenly people started getting record deals. Now, all of a sudden, people started getting these record deals, and everybody became their own production company. Mm-hmm. Not having a clue about how to do business, how to be cool with, and then you found out real fast that money that record company gave you, that wasn't no loan. And then you find out what the manager was, because people had confusion with investor and manager back then. Right. Investor want their money back. The manager, the dude, you just say, you run over them and be like, yeah, okay, I'll see you later, brother. Nice, thank you. Thanks for all the fish. That was a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That was some nerd. Right. So yeah, that's been, but the clubs were scarce back in the day. Bands was always going against each other, and basically everybody came out the basement. People think, oh, it's a big sound stage, and oh, these guys are having big orgies at their houses, and no. Lugs was trying, they had a little 4-tracks, a little TAC 4-tracks, and they used to come to me with these tapes, talking about, hey, brother, play this tape. And so back then, it just got weird. So then we into the 80s and 90s, and then he did the thing with Prince. Prince just make an acetate. Cowboy, here, play this. He did it to Roy Freedom and the other DJs, Kevin Cole, and all them back at First Avenue back in the day, because we used to do Funk Night back then. So he'd come in, and they came to the Oz a few times too, that's right. And that's kind of how things was kind of tight. He started helping a few people, and then he thought, everybody else thought, oh yeah, Prince was gonna help us. People started moving to Minnesota like it was Detroit. They thought it was a mini Motown, which it was. It was. But we didn't really know it like that. We just was like, yeah, it's got some stuff, and if you knew the right person, you could get on. And then once you on, Prince was like, hey, I got you on, but it's time for you to get off. If you can't stand on your own, sorry, I can't help you. Which is why a lot of people was mad at Prince about that. I mean, they was like, hot, man, he dogged me. Dude, you was on a limited time offer. You wasn't on to take care of you forever. Some of y'all know because y'all used to come to my club mad. And I used to laugh. I say the same people you see going up is the same people you're going to see going down. So you better be nice to people while you can, because that ain't going to last forever in the Dream Factory, because that's what that was.
Yeah. We know about the Dream Factory.
Yes. Because I was in the original Dream Factory, baby, when they made that Dream Factory.
So I remember, you know, man, I hate, you gave us a tape of a Prince concert.
You try to tell that story, are you?
I know you remember this. Well, I mean, this is the time to tell those stories. I would never tell these stories any other time.
Marcus loves to tell that story.
Oh yeah, but it was this is the thing I remember most about the tape. He came on, and you hear him walking on the stage, and he clears his throat, and he says, "We haven't practiced in a long time, but here it goes."
Right.
And he goes into Around the World in a Day, and he basically plays that whole record at First Avenue.
Right. I mean, I have that video actually at home.
Are you serious?
That First Avenue show. Yeah, just before we went on tour. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just like, we haven't practiced in a long time, but you know, we're gonna play everything we know. Here it goes. And that is just, that's what really blew my mind about being up there, that at any given time, first of all, he would just show up. Dude, I mean, right. I remember seeing him at Williams Pub on Tuesday nights, 2 for Tuesdays.
Tuesday night, that's right.
Tuesday nights, Williams Pub.
Hey, that's when they used to play. They used to play like 20 minutes of black music at the end of the night.
Right. Yeah.
That was Bill Warner, and that was actually a rule. That wasn't like he got funky at the end of the night. What it was the owner told him, don't play none of that R&B or that house music until it's almost time to go. So that's why everybody came at what club closed at 1. We was in there tight, like it was the last minute at 12 o'clock, 12:15.
And it was 2 for 1s, and you can get on that end.
Yeah. All right.
Quick, 2 for 1s, and you go in there with $10, you was straight at Williams Pub on a Tuesday night. But you know, the first time, you remember this, man. The first time we went to First Ave, man, he showed up. He was, and I don't know if you were with us, but you had to have been.
No, it was my night.
Yeah, it was your night. It was Thursday night. But he showed up, and you know, T-Bone tried to hand him a flyer.
All right.
Gilbert,
I remember that.
And Gilbert, I thought Gilbert was gonna grab him by his neck and toss him across the room, man. But he talked to us, man, and he right. It was some small talk, but he said, "You guys a band?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're a band." You know, he said, "I'll be watching out for you." So I have to segue into the night we were at the warehouse, and you gave us this tape of music, and it was like this.
Yeah, hey, y'all, listen to this.
It was like, you were like, learn this, and we were like, what is it? And said, just learn the damn song. It was about a minute and a half of this groove. Right. About a minute and a half of this groove. We put it in the tape. We were like, damn, that's funky. Wow, what is that? What is it? He's like, just learn it. And we were getting ready to play First Ave for the first time. And so you have to tell the rest of the story.
Oh, for the song?
Yeah, you have to tell the rest of the story. Now you walk into the warehouse with the tape, and you tell. The mug
that tell the story the best though is Levant. Our BF.
BF.
He be like, he tell it. He had me cracking up.
He does tell it. He does tell it good, but
yeah, he tell it good. You're gonna have to get him up. But anyway, this song gets done. And then I'm doing another night because Steve McClellan at First Avenue had an open night. So he had this open night. He says, Cowboy, you got something you could put in on a night? I got a band that had petered out on me. So I was like, a night? First Avenue? Hell, I will put something in there. I got something for you.
That's right.
So I put together this little night. My thing that I can't remember is I can't remember the band that played in front of y'all. I thought it was Vision.
It wasn't, not that time.
I talked to BS today. He said that wasn't them.
No, it wasn't Vision.
There was another band that played that night.
Yeah,
But
that
they
was a
got
different
mad
night.
because I didn't record their. Huh?
That was a different time. That was the next time we played First Ave when we played
No,
with Vision.
y'all played that song that night. That was Prince was there.
Yes, that's on.
Oh,
That's what
I
I'm.
remember that argument, bro. So yeah,
Yes.
he threw something, I threw it back. I was like, well, didn't nobody say nothing? Y'all should have told me not to play it for nobody. So anyway, I
Now,
played for. I was like, 'cause I like it. I was like, look,
Legend has it that he said, "You lucky it sounded good." Is
he
that
what?
did he say that? Legend has it that
Did he say what?
he said, "You're lucky it sounded good." Because we killed it. We didn't know we were
He
playing
basically said
Cowboy.
that.
We didn't know
He
we were
kind of gave me
playing.
that. He gave me that little look. I look at you like when you wave somewhere, and he give you that darting look with the one eye, that old Bela Lugosi look he had.
Right,
And
right.
then I just put my hands up like this, and I did like, "Rah, rah, rah." And then later on, after the night was over, we were just kind of hanging out, carousing like we used to do.
Right.
And then he came up and he says, that was funky, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah. And then I did one of them ones. I said, you mad, bro? And then he said, well, I'm not mad, but it was funky. And then he kind of see, there's a Prince had this way with these high heels he had on. If you didn't see he had heels on, it looked like he was floating. So I'm just gonna say, then he kind of floated away. He kind of floated away. So the next day, I was talking to somebody, and they were like, "Man, that was fucked up. I mean, that was messed up what you did." And I was like, "What you mean? What I did?" Man, I heard they mad at you because your band played his song. He ain't even played it. I said, "Well, I didn't know he played it that night. It was on tape. They gave me a tape, and I walked out. Got in my car. I banged that mug to their rehearsal. That's what happened."
Yeah.
So in a way, it could get mad. So it was we had a little bit of something for it. It lasted for 18 seconds, or should I say 17 seconds after his song. So 17, right. Because actually that song 17, good segue, is about being put in the elevator and getting beat up by the police. So that's a little bit of history a lot of people don't know. That song 17 is about how the police. Some of it is about how the police used to take people down by the river and whoop that ass, or get them in the elevator and whoop that.
Wow.
But that song has that in it.
I never knew that, man.
17 days, yeah.
Yeah, 17 days. And that's one of my favorite B-sides of his, man. I mean,
go back and listen to it and see if you can find that story.
I will
He
listen
tells
to
story
it
in that song.
right away. Listen to it right away. We're on with DJ Cowboy on Story Behind the Music. And
let me tell these people on Facebook, hey, Facebook, I'm doing a podcast with my man. It's the Story Behind the Music. You can catch it on YouTube right now. I put up a link, and then I'm done talking to y'all. I'm going back down here.
So after that, that happened, and of course, let me just give people some perspective. Cowboy never told us that this was a piece of Prince's music. We just learned it, and I know Lance programmed the hell out of those drums. That drum track, man, that really made
because he had that Oberheim DMX.
Yeah, and we had the MP360.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean, we had everything we needed to execute the song, so that's why it sounded like the record. Honestly, I mean,
Lance was that dude.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, if nothing else, I mean, and he's talented, as you know, but as far as programming drums, there is no one, honestly, other than maybe Prince, that I would have programming drums.
Actually, Andre Simone can program some shit too now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we talk about that Jody Watley record, man. There was some killer drums on that record, man. So Cowboy, man, once we did our thing, and I remember when you got us opened for Midnight Star, and
all right,
right, and so we're back there doing a sound check, and we're in the back, and I don't even know where you were, but QD is doing the kick drum, and some cats walk in and said, "Damn, who's playing tonight? Earth, Wind, and Fire."
Oh, that's hey, y'all listen to this, man. They got on the stage, man. Let me look. The jury, they come to put some foot down, and the reason they could, because they had every piece of technological piece of equipment at the time. The only other band that had more keyboards and guitars and microphones and horns was Earth, Wind & Fire. So after I came out, I was backstage. I came back from my step backstage, and I looked at the stage, and then my boy said, "Look at all that equipment. We had a we had a big old truck full of equipment, like tour truck. It was almost a semi truck, but it wasn't. But it was just up. And the little roadies that was at the bar was like, "Y'all got how many bands y'all got?" I said, "Tonight, one."
One.
Man, that day, we got pictures. It's a big thing what a lot of people didn't get a chance to do. A lot of people didn't get a chance to record at the time because we didn't have these cool cell phones.
I know, right?
Have, a mug you had to pay a dude with a big old video camera to come in and do something, which I did do $800 later. And I to film this. And then cameras was the big Polaroids with the thing, or 35 millimeter types. We didn't have no phones and stuff where you could do this. So what they say, everything's now are easily recorded. But back in the day when Gil Scott Heron said it will not be televised, the revolution, well, check it out. And here's a quick seg on what's going on right now. This revolution is televised.
That's right.
And right now, but we're able to do it. But back then, it wasn't like that at all. So people be telling stories about stuff they did. I got a video, which I tried to, if I would have been at home, I would have asked you if I could play some of it, because I had Williams Pub when y'all used to come in the club. I had the Oz when we all used to come in the club.
You have video?
I got video of that. And back then, nobody was doing video like that.
No, you don't.
It's shocking that all these years later, I have video of, like, we just at the club, and I'm partying, doing what I do. But in the background, you see you and Dion and Prof. Everybody come in with fuck fools and checking in, and then I have a line of drinks lying by the bar. I'll be like, oh my, because the DJ booth has usually got a little bar rail, drink rail, and I go, hey, y'all want a drink? Well, I'll get a drink. I said, no. This is what we'll do. We'll take a drink from here. And y'all be like, well, what's that? I said, these are drinks that people bought or that I bought because I had a rule with my DJs. If you make a mistake, you got to do a shot. So I had like 6 shots by the DJ booth, and I had on the drink were probably 10 or 15. So when the squad come in, nobody had to pay for a drink ever, I don't think. I don't think you guys paid for a drink ever.
I don't think we ever paid for a drink.
Yeah, right. And we never paid. Y'all didn't pay to get in no club because I was in them all. No. It was like, here we go.
Although old boy from Club Cedar, man, used to get on us about 2 drink minimum. Yeah. I mean, but we took over that club too. We took Club Cedar from, everybody. Right. That was amazing, and that club.
And that was a little club downtown St. Paul, which if some of y'all people on my Facebook, y'all know where Club Cedar used to be. That was downtown, around the corner from the Oz. And for those of you that's on this podcast that really don't know, it's in Minneapolis. It's a town called St. Paul, which is actually the capital of Minnesota. So when you say it's the Twin Cities, everybody say Minneapolis, but it's Minneapolis, St. Paul. St. Paul make the rules. Minneapolis just go by them, or they break them. I think that's how we had it. It was something weird back in the day like that.
We're on with DJ Cowboy, A.K.A. Todd Hunter, Hidden Agenda Entertainment. That has been the name of his company for long as I've known him.
I'm in the process of upgrading my Facebook for my website, which is originaldjcowboy.com. It's kind of raggedy right now, but I got a lot of time on my hands since all the entertainers and MCs and then the shows that I've been in, all my productions are shut down. So if you ever lost all your money at one time and didn't have none saved, but I did, luckily, that tells you need to save your money, people. Save your money because you never know what might happen. Because this shit, nobody saw it coming. All entertainers ain't working. Conventions, I'm down in Las Vegas at the wonderful Flamingo Hotel and Casino on the weekend of their first opening. Just in case y'all don't know, y'all seeing these trees and shit. I was going to be in my studio doing this interview, but I thought, since I'm in Vegas, let's go on and do it outside somewhere. So I found a nice quiet spot, and here we are.
Right. Hey, somebody on our feed, man, Brandon B says, what about smugglers?
Oh, Brandon, that's my boy B-Dog. Hey, he's an MC in Minneapolis. He's current. He's part of the Young Guns.
He's talking about.
He's a funny brother, that dude. I see you, Cotty. I see y'all. Hey, I see all y'all people. I'm trying to wave at you fools. But if you want to check out this podcast live, it's the story behind the music
Story behind the music.
Darren's story right here, making it happen.
And then of course, you know, what's that, Cowboy?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna put this link up for y'all one more time. It's big. Just click it.
Just click it. Just click it. It's kind of big. I don't know why it's so big, but that's what she said. Anyway,
I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's off color joke. Get it? See what I did there? Off color, black.
Off color. Right. Right. So one of the things, man, that I remember when I first got to the Twin Cities, man, is that when we first started hanging out, man. So we came from Kansas City, and Kansas City, not as bad as it used to be. But when we got to Minneapolis in the mid 80s, man, Kansas City was very segregated. And we got to Minneapolis, man, and we went to First Avenue, and we were just seeing black people and white people partying together and hanging out together. And
oh, hell yeah.
We were like, what is this, man? And so when I saw this stuff happening up there, not to say that there wasn't issues, not to say that there weren't racist people in the Twin Cities, but I'm talking about as far as a community, especially the music and entertainment community, man.
Right.
Very diverse, man. You know, I have friends to this day, man, that girls I dated, I had never dated outside of my race until I got to the Twin Cities, man. I didn't even think that was a thing.
Wow, you gonna blame that on the Twin Cities?
Yeah, I have to blame it on the Twin Cities. I'm gonna have to blame it on the Twin Cities. I remember the night it happened. I remember the night it happened. Her name was Debbie at First Avenue, and T-Bone was like, "She looking at you?" I'm like, "And she ain't looking at me, man." She's like, "She's white." No, dude, she's looking at you. I walked over to her, and there it was, and it was like,
I don't know,
but it was just,
it doesn't say what the woman said.
I appreciate your message.
Okay, yeah, me too. I think it's a do. Thank you.
I know you do podcasts.
Okay, no problem, brother. All right, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, they got a compliment on my shirt, just in case y'all ain't with this here. Because I see some people be like, "Man, how you gonna be wearing a shirt like black?"
Make racism wrong again.
So it's a message. Hold on.
Make racism wrong again. I love it. I love it.
See, that's going to be available on my website. I got a store I'm putting up.
Send me one of them, man. Make racism.
I will. As soon as I just made a deal with a printing company where we can do drop ship. So
awesome.
I have that up and running for y'all pretty soon.
Awesome. So man, we had our run. Jury had our run, and then we broke up, as you know, and then eventually, Prof and Lance got their deal with Jimmy and Terry, and then Low Key happens and everything, and I mean, people like you took us in and made us a part of that city and of those cities, man. And I haven't talked to you in a long time, really in depth, man. But I just want to say in front of everybody, thank you for what you did for us that allowed us to make our dream come true, man. I mean, because if you hadn't have been running interference for us and taking us on when you had a whole lot of other stuff going on at the same time, but what you did for us during that time, man, was pivotal. And the fact that we got a chance to perform and Prince to hear us. I mean, he said he would check us out. He'd be looking out for us. I had no idea that would actually.
One of the things for me, especially back in the day, was I'm kind of a transplant. I'm Minnesotan. I bleed the purple, but I'm not born in Minnesota. I'm born in Chicago.
Right.
So when I came to Minnesota by way of Los Angeles. So I have but I was immediately accepted with a family there, and then they brought me in and treated me and put me up like I'm one of them. So I learned very quickly once I moved to Minneapolis or St. Paul or Minnesota, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you get everybody in. But it was kind of like that. Well, because at that time, the racial black to just say Caucasian mix was 1%. It was 1% minority in Minnesota. Stop it. So what happened is we had to stick together. It wasn't a whole lot of choice. And there used to be a big division. There were so many divisions in Minnesota and the St. Paul, Minneapolis area. There was St. Paul versus Minneapolis. And then it got to where even the musicians were like against each other too. So I'm trying to keep it music. There was the light-skinned people, high yellow boys against some dark boys. It was different. Then there were certain people who lived on certain sides, what is now 94 East or 94 West, whatever it is. whoever lived on whatever side. So they had a lot of, I like to call it institutional racism going on. That's that Minnesota nice, where you think you okay, so the first chance they get, oh, you're gonna feel how okay you is.
Right.
But then it got to the point as crossover came in and our generation came in, we started to accept each other because we were together all the time.
That's
you know, there was poor white people, poor Mexican people, and us poor folks hung out. But just some of us turned into rich poor people. And they proved it by when they got rich, they had more attitude. They didn't have that hand to get you back. But see, for me, that's what it was. The strength of my power that I managed to build in that town or in the Midwest was the fact that I was all inclusive before all inclusive was a thing. Because if you did something, I say, hey, if you do it, come on. If you was a comedian, hey, come on. Because I was liking it in between my sets, go to the bathroom, go talk to somebody, do some shots, and come back. You a comedian here? Let's turn the music off. Go ahead. People used to come and tell me, I'm a singer. And they'd be right in front of the DJ booth. I'd be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Ready? 1, 2. Turn the music down. Oh, you got to turn the music down. Okay. I put you on right there. There's a bunch of people. You're going to find out right then if you could do it, which is one of the things I was doing to y'all. And see, I done heard enough basement. Prince was basement. You know, Andre, all of us were down in them basements, man. Jimmy Taylor. Actually, Jimmy was a DJ. He did some music stuff, but he was more famous than a DJ. So with all that, you just say, hey, put you on. That's how Jimmy did it that way too. I think I was in high school, running up to his club. I was working in his club, the adult club, and he just put me on. Cowboy, we was friends like that. He said, okay, it's your turn. I'm like, really? Boom, there it was. So by doing that, it's the same thing. But you never know who's gonna make it. And that's one thing that I believe that to this very day. You never know. That dude that was cleaning my floor or shining your shoe or working hard and trying to do something, that might be the next cat. So if you treat that dude with disrespect, guess what's gonna happen? When he get famous and you're gonna have your little punk, you're gonna have yourself out there looking for them tickets, talking about let me get in, or I knew you when you didn't have nothing. They say, yeah, and you treat me like nothing. And they remember that.
Yeah.
Trust me, they do. But I used to get that all, I still get it. People out there just talk to me now. I said, dude, first I don't even know you. You with my cousin girlfriend. I said, I barely saw you. But anyway, hi. Mad at me about something. I said, why you mad at me? Well, you know, y'all got rich and y'all just left us. And I got street rich. I didn't get mogul rich. I had money, but I didn't have that kind of money.
Right.
Where everything. Thank you for saying you.
Yeah, you didn't. You didn't.
So yeah. So, but one of the things
gonna make it, man. I mean, because when we saw Vision the first time, I mean, you bring up a point. You didn't know who was going to make it, and I remember we had already. We may have told you this, that we played against Vision about 3 years prior at a talent show, and
where.
In St. Louis, we went up against Vision in a Budweiser Talent Fest or whatever, and
that's why y'all knew what's the manager's name?
Gosh,
that guy.
Man, you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Yeah, because y'all.
Yeah, we already knew them, man. We already knew those cats, man, and they put so much foot in our. You know what, man? It was crazy, and so
y'all did not like this.
And so when we found out they were there, we were like, "Oh man, this is a problem." And we went into Club Cedar. We went into Club Cedar, man, and they started playing Alice by Full Force, and it sounded just like the record. And we were like, "Oh damn!"
That dude's name was Vincent.
Vincent, yes, Vincent.
Their manager, Vince. Yeah,
and
not Vincent.
Now, when we first met them, they were like us, man. They were like a big band. They had like 8, 9 guys, and they got down to that 5, and they had so many sequences going. Man, they were killing. Yep. And I'm like, these guys are gonna get a deal, man. And they did. They turned into Crash and whatnot, but they didn't happen.
Yeah, because actually Jesse Johnson picked them up.
Yeah, Jesse Johnson picked them up. Yeah. And did you know that they auditioned our lead singer Dre for their group, and he passed on Dre?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he passed on Dre. You really can't sing. And I'm like, what? Okay, but that's how close of I guess that separation, 6 degrees of
Right.
separation between us and Vision, because we had no idea they were in Minneapolis until I think Lance had came up first and came back and told us, man, I saw Vision's in Minneapolis, Vision's in the Twin Cities, man, killing it. And we were like, oh
Right.
man, we got to rekindle that rivalry. And then you got us to First Avenue, both of us on one night, and I have to say, I think we got him that night, man. I think we got him.
But see, that was another one of my things, though, because we used to in y'all rehearsals used to have these arguments about how the foot was, and everybody. See, musicians, I'm telling you, they're just like finely tuned cars. You have to always fix them things. So
Right.
I come in and say, look, y'all gonna do this? Nah, man, we ain't playing for nothing. We playing for First Avenue, man. We're gonna play on this stage. We're gonna do everything. We taking over this town. We're gonna put the foot on this town. That's what we did. And I'm like, look, I'm trying to tell you, y'all there's more to it than that. Y'all wouldn't have it. Young dumb going. So I said, okay, you know what? I can fix that right away. So let's fix this. And then they said, well, what you gonna do? Just hold on. When I come back, I'm gonna have stuff. Because that was the first time y'all played there. But that first time y'all played, it was interesting. You couldn't really play that main stage unless you played the entry. That was
No, we
the
had to do
rule that
7th
Steve
Street.
had.
We had to do 7th Street entry first.
I was like, okay. So now, after that gig, I said, okay, now y'all play First Avenue. What you looking for now? Come to Minnesota, play on that stage at Purple Rain. Everybody has you. And I was like, it's not that deep, y'all. I'm telling you. Yep, when we do that, we're going to take over the whole music business. I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah, we
So
were.
my whole intention was to say, okay, let's get this out your mind first. Let's get this out your mouth, and then let's do some real music and start playing for real. And the thing about that video, we had that somebody designed your pants. That's my favorite story to tell about the pants. We was doing that cameo move.
Yeah.
Leg go up and then your booty come out like this.
Yeah, man. You could have left that out. You could have left that
out. This dude right here, he used to have legs like, I don't know, Pegasus or Don Hercules type legs. Nice, everything else.
I was fit.
Legs.
I was fit.
He could break up and break out his jeans and shit. Stuff like that. So that's what used to make me laugh. Somebody designed these clothes and of course he chose to wear tights because he had that old Larry Blackman doing move going.
Yeah, right.
I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting down
Tony
in the thing about the sound that the sound was going.
Tony took pictures.
His pants start to So I jumped down over there. I'm down on the stage going, I'm waiting. Looking at me like. So we just, as far as I can remember, we just made it to that final mark that this scene was breaking. It was just at the point of me, like, if he would have did it one more time, it would turn into a porn show. And they would have ran us out that place. That's funny. That's one of my. I think it's on tape. As soon as I record it properly,
I would pay you for that. I would pay for that. I wouldn't put it online for public consumption, but to have it for my own posterity, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, of course, you have to edit it for television.
We were so young, man. We were so young. It was the 80s too. The 80s were amazing.
We got to make sure that y'all take care out there, man. You can't be even though some of y'all might think it's a joke, there's little things going on, both the race part of it and pandemically speaking part of it. Just be careful. Just be a little bit more careful than you already are, but go one more step, then you'll be fine. That's I have to say because like I said, I'm down here in Las Vegas, staying at the Glorious because we're using their Wi-Fi. So thank you for letting me use your convention Wi-Fi, courtesy of Flamingo Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. We're down here. I'm down here for the opening weekend, the big opening of the strip, the big opening of downtown. So here for this. We said I'm gonna do this, so we made it happen. And we want to talk a little bit about the days with Prince. We want to talk about the days with us because we got plenty of stuff. As a matter of fact, we didn't glossed over so much stuff, but I'm waiting for the book.
Who's gonna write it?
I'm waiting for the book. And then last year, this time we was doing Purple Love. Not last year, that was 3 years ago.
That was
that was 3 years ago.
That was 3 years ago, man.
Yeah. I think about it like it's last week. So this time, 3 years ago, we were doing the thing for Prince, and at the Minnesota Music Cafe, me and David T.C. Ellis and JB, and we gave away some awards to Sue-Ann, a Lifetime Achievement Award to Sue-Ann Carwell, and a Lifetime Achievement Award to Jelly Bean Johnson, because those two people, as far as this Minnesota sound, Minnesota music thing, are the most underrated.
Absolutely.
Getting your props, everybody. I mean, there was other people that did stuff, but behind that music, behind, and people don't realize that Sue-Ann was the first person that Prince put in. Talk about how other people did what, but that was his first project. Yeah, and she's down here getting it in. But I'm just saying, as far as talent, man, we talk about Jelly Bean. Are you kidding me? This dude is not. Y'all know him as the drummer.
Yeah,
we know him as drummer, guitar player, producer. You see what I'm saying? But people talk to them, that's the guitar. Not Innocent by Alexander O'Neal. Did you hear Black Cat? Did you hear this?
Yeah,
there he is.
He played on our first record, man. He played on this song, Don't You Know By Now. He did a guitar solo. We didn't have him play drums. We had him play guitar.
And again, how Flight Time was. Yeah. It was based on the same inclusion. You in the loop. At one point was in the loop with Prince. That was his teaching. And then we cut that into what Flight Time was doing. If you in the loop, they're using parts of what you already got versus going outside the band. They kept the stuff in the band for productions, and that's a successful, very successful.
Hey, Cowboy, did you
very successful formula.
Hey, Cowboy, did you move? Because you're breaking up a little bit. Your signal's breaking up. Yeah,
I'm getting closer like that. Feel good?
Okay, that's better. That's better. That's much better. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Yeah, that's probably what you should do. Sit your ass down for a second and let's finish this thing. But you're right about Jelly Bean, man. I mean,
see how I got him to revert back to Darren?
Yeah.
I love your shows, man. You are professional as hell.
Oh,
I'll be like, nobody just see him. Just go one time back to the other dude. Much love, brother. I just like to pick on people, man. That's what I do.
No, I know you do, man. That's hell. We've been knowing each other for almost 40 years.
I got to move this angle a little bit because my hand is getting a little bit. There we go.
Hey, that's
is
good.
That better?
And you look great, man. You got the lights on your face and everything. Now I can see you.
Well, the sun moved. It was.
Yeah. so, man. Before I got about you got 10 minutes left, man. Can you go another 10 minutes?
Man, I'm just sitting here. I'm good. Sorry. I put the phone down. Oops. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing this here.
So, another thing that people don't know is that us and Mint Condition used to share a warehouse space.
Right.
And we didn't even know that Stokely could sing because he was just playing drums. Right. And I remember the day that Lance came home to Lori Wagner's house.
Right.
All love to Lori Wagner, who took care of us. Oh man, I love her to this day.
She was another one that made it so that I.
Oh man, Lori took care of us.
She would stop working for me if I didn't work with you. That's how much she loved y'all. So something happened.
I do remember that the first time that we went to the Oz, she was working the door, and she's
hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I lost your video feed there for a second.
Yeah, something went crazy. Hold on.
I'm hanging with you. I still hear you.
Almost back.
I just don't see you.
I think I'm back. Well, whatchamacallit might got mad at me because I told them I was using their Wi-Fi, but they told me I could. I don't see the camera. Let me check your, because I got some things I can fix on here. It says start camera.
There you are.
There it is.
There it is.
See, gotta give your people tools because stuff be going wrong. That was the nerd in me, though. Sorry, I nerded out for a minute. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry.
No, but I was just saying that Lori Wagner, she was running the door at the Oz, man, and she was quite intimidating when you walk up on her, man, and she didn't take no mess, but she ended up being an amazing ally for us, and we all wish her love and thank her for. And that girl could cook. That was another thing. That girl could cook.
Yeah, I got a story for you though.
Yeah,
and he had reminded me about it, but I knew about it. So y'all remember JP, right?
Yeah.
Jason Peterson.
Yeah.
This boy had to be all of like 15, 14. No, he's really 13. No, kidding. Because I'm, the Petersons is part of my Minnesota family. So
absolutely.
I told his grandmother, I said, you know what? I'm gonna take care of this boy. She goes, okay. She said, yeah, I don't really want him in this music business, but I'm gonna trust you with him. And then I seen his mama, and she goes, now you're taking care of my baby now. You need to. I said, okay, I got him. Just relax. So one day I show up at the warehouse just between y'all's rehearsals, because men was just finishing and y'all was just coming home. We was late nighters. Y'all my family, so we was late nighters. Man, Jason came in. I said, y'all gotta hear this brother play. What are y'all says doing the band? And it was like, no, you the man. You take care of all the business. You don't pick people. I said, he done playing. We're gonna see who gonna talk. Well, that's why I started playing. And guess who? What show he was on?
The very next one.
Shout out to my man Jason Peterson, man. I had to give you some love, man.
Jason,
you're an honorary member of both bands, and you always gonna be a mark because you my little nephew. You heard me?
Absolutely, man. So before we go, man, give me your best or favorite Prince story.
I can't.
Give me your 1B then. If you can't give us 1A, give me 1B.
Okay. How about if I just give a story that I got gypped on, which is my favorite story. So this is what happened.
You got
he did this movie because I could say some shit, but I got to be cool with that shit.
Right.
So we're doing this movie called Graffiti Bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a story of a coming of age story of haterism versus don't don't care. So what happened was Prince. Well, Prince. I was originally, like I said, I was Prince's original tour DJ. Mm-hmm. So everybody is on doing I DJ for Prince. Did but just understand, people, y'all wouldn't have had to get that job if it wasn't for me, because I created that job. But just when they started getting heavy on that job, I had to say,
that's right.
Put up 2 fingers, and then third one came out. Sorry. So while we're filming this movie, I am actually in Graffiti Bridge.
Yes,
and
you are.
The movie got rewritten. So because at that time Prince and Kim Basinger had a thing. Mm-hmm. So I ain't gonna go all the way into the story, which I do know the details. So when they had they little fallout, Prince had to rush and rewrite the movie, and then he had to recast it. So he recast the movie with Ingrid Chavez, and then still did the movie. So I was like, well, where all my parts go? So I'm walking around, me and Mavis Staples and George, me and Uncle George. So I'm laughing, and George and Mavis say, Cowboy, just jump in front of the camera. What are you going to do? Tell you to go home? And I was like, right, because if I go home, I can go do my club. So we get this part. Now, there's a part in the thing. The movie, right. In the movie, there's the fight scene. The big battle that's been building. There was 2 messages. The message about love and all that. And then there was the big battle scene. That's where the time went against Prince. And the song was called The Latest Fashion. Now, I'm going to correct this for y'all, and I'm going to explain it. So during that Latest Fashion, it was the part where it broke out. And then it said, Jelly Bean, don't be so mean. And then Jelly Bean does a little drum roll. And then Prince goes, Cowboy. And then I do a scratch thing, wicka, wicka, whack, 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 wicka, whack. And then Morris says, you're fired. I didn't get fired. So the rumor was that I got fired I'm the only DJ on the planet that got fired on a record. So I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cuss. See, I ain't had no tequila or nothing, so I'm still Christian right now.
I can't stop you from cussing.
I mean, and darkness ain't even kicked in yet. So we about to do this thing tonight. So anyway, so I get in this argument with this dude, right? And he's telling me, man, you the cowboy that got fired. Dude, you got fired on a record. That's worse than your album going double plastic. I'm like, dude, I didn't get fired. I just watched the damn movie. So what happened was they recut the movie for television. That damn TBS, I'm so mad at them. And then they recut it. All the parts, gone. Every part I shot, gone. There's only one part in Tick, Tick, Bang where you see me running up and setting all that explosion that was going on doing elephants and flowers or whatever the hell it was. Or just before it was Tick, Tick, Bang. That was a song. That song begins. That is me setting the charges. That's the only part I got left in that movie. And when Tevin Campbell sang, I was Tevin Campbell's DJ.
Right.
So that song rounded round when it comes on, and there's a dude with a black hat with a Prince symbol on it, scratching with a turntable necklace. That was me. So I was like, I am forever fired on a record. And then to add insult to injury, now I got to fight with people because you cut the part out the movie. So luckily, I found that scene, and I'm gonna put it up the next time I find it because I got about 8 million megabytes or kilobytes of music. But at any rate, I'm gonna find that scene and I'm gonna put that up one day. Please. But it's just that story. That's my one. I got some tour ones, but we'll say that for another time. I got to get it.
You got to leave them wanting more, right? You can't just throw it all out there one time.
You got to put an epilogue on it. Put a log on it, let it burn a little bit, let it marinate.
Because there's some stories that we have between us that we have not shared tonight. We may never share ever.
What's that?
We may never share some of these stories. They may just have to be with us.
Some stories is just to you to be sitting in a private time, reminiscing about things, and you remember that and go, you know what? I wish it was somebody I could tell. But put it in the memoirs, and then when you die, I'll be like, that dude told the story, or you'll be like, that nigga died and told the story. So yeah, we'll do an interview with my man. The story behind the music, you can catch it. This dude has done magnificent work. He's interviewed everybody from all the funk folks. I done watched a bunch of them. I ain't trying to name nobody, so nobody say, oh, you forgot me. But he's doing some great work. Dude, I've been proud of you. You turned into an MC also. I've been checking your work on that. And you got that Christian show. I don't know if you still have it on the radio, man.
I do.
Don't think for a minute that any of my people that's been involved in my posse and in anything with me, don't think I don't know what you're doing. I might not say nothing.
I appreciate that.
I've been watching, and man, you have been doing it, bro. You've been in there. I can't say enough about the things I'm proud of. Some of us have done stellar things. Some of us are just maintaining. And man, you maintaining and you making it happen, brother. Your set looks good. You look good. And even though you went through a bunch of little stuff before, you came through it. And you say whatever don't kill you, make you stronger. But man, I've been dead a few times, so actually I should be the Hulk, but I don't know about how that works. But you gotta get through it, man. Like the thing going on with this pandemic, this thing with this race thing, we're gonna get through it. We always have. So just don't worry yourself so much, because everybody has been. I'm in closing. So everybody's been real, just intense and tight. Getting a chance to see your place, but cooped up somewhere. But just remember, like my mama said, grandma said, and some other people said, this too shall pass, baby. It will pass. It might not pass as fast as stuff come out your ass, but it's gonna pass. Okay? It's gonna be okay.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will, my man. Cowboy, thank you, man, for spending some time with me tonight, man. I know you're busy and making it happen.
I didn't tell too much wrong stuff. I'm good.
Oh, no, this is good, man.
I did this interview a few weeks ago to do this podcast, and man, I'm trying to get that thing off. I said a whole bunch of I was like, nigga, I need to get this off. I'm
Hey,
kidding.
I
Anything
know.
that I say, I said it. I don't care.
Yeah, I know, man. And there are plenty of people that were around to back up anything you have just said during the last 54 minutes.
Hey, I got video.
See, that's what I want to see is video. So find the video, put it in the Dropbox. I'm not gonna post it or anything because but
The ones from the bar?
What's that?
The ones from the bar?
Yeah, from the bar. Any of that stuff you got from us, man. Okay. Now, you know, one thing Tony did, man, get some pictures of us. He sent me some before he passed, man, some pictures that he took of us at First Avenue, man, that I will cherish for the rest of my life.
I'm in touch with his aunt. Bless Tony's heart. That was our
photographer, man.
Life photographer.
He was
so he had the whole world of Minnesota, but his aunt doesn't really know what to do with those pictures. So me and Marvin Bond has been in basic contact with her. So if there were any pictures that anyone can think of that Tony may have had, let me know. And I'm gonna make an attempt to get as many of those pictures as I can, and maybe I'll try to distribute them.
That'd be great.
Marvin knows a bunch of stuff too. So
I have he posted probably about a dozen from a couple of performances at First Ave, right. But not all of them. But he took the picture, the infamous picture of those gold lame pants you're talking about.
Right.
That still that I had to take down because people started
saying stuff.
Saying stuff. Yes. So I had to take that down. But I know he's got a gazillion pictures that he's taken, man, because he was always there. He was
actually he has the pictures that say that, you know how somebody say they got the story of Minnesota,
right?
And there was another photographer, bless his heart, I can't remember his name right now, but I just remembered it. But he had the history of Minnesota all the way from like the 50s, and then he passed. Byron, I think his name was, but he used to be the cameraman
for the Historical Society
through ours. So he has our history in photo. Actual pictures, not stuff caught on the phone, but he had those phones because now he's long past, but not long, but last year.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to get as many of those pictures from his aunt, but she said since this pandemic thing that took over, it's been really hard for her to get some stuff done. But she said as soon as we get right, we're gonna try to get right with those pictures.
Right on. Did you ever DJ at the Fox Trap? Did you ever DJ at the Fox Trap? Did you ever DJ at the Fox Trap?
Yes.
How old were you? 12 when you did
that? All right. I was too young to be up in there.
I figured that.
Yeah.
I heard that. Now
B Rich has got the record. Him and Gary Bazzari. Gary Get Down. It was Gary Get Down, and that's his brother. And then it was B Rich. He was 15, I think.
Wow.
And I think Gary might have been 14 or something like that. Maybe even 13. No, he wasn't that young, but they was in that, and they were the youngest.
Because there's a lot of pictures from the Minnesota Historical Society from the Fox Trap.
And what's funny, I ain't got one in there. That's what's funny.
Yeah, I mean, but the Fox Trap wasn't really a thing when we got there, but I hear that was the joint.
I think about the time when you guys were up there, it left the Fox Trap and it turned into the Taste.
Taste, yes.
The Taste Show Lounge was up when that was about the time y'all had first got there.
Yeah, so it had turned into the Taste, but I've heard epic stories of the Fox Trap.
David's got a good story with Prince at the Fox Trap. And I'm gonna leave that. I told David because David just got here. He just got down here to Las Vegas today.
He's on my
do this interview, and I said, if anybody you need to interview anybody.
Oh, yeah.
You need David.
Oh, he's on
David and Suan are family, so you can go all the way down there and go past that.
Yeah.
David and Shanita, his sister.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Them folks know, they know all about it because they was in Minnesota before I was.
Yeah. I saw him. I happened to be up there on business, and me and him hung out for a while, man, and he kicked some serious history for me, man. And
and then he also has high school recording arts in St. Paul.
Yes, that's where I was. That's where I met him.
Right.
And that's phenomenal. And I told him, I said, I want you to bring one of those to Kansas City, where we are. We need to have one of those here because that is a phenomenal organization that he's built. That's amazing. But he told me the story of how he met Prince and how he took up for Prince because Prince was about to get beat up, and he
that was at the Fox Trap, right? See, I was trying to tell those stories.
Well, David told me the story. I mean, David told me the story. So I was like, I don't think, and David didn't say, don't tell nobody. It was like, he said, that's how we met. I said, because I asked him, I said, how'd y'all meet? And he said, man, this is how we met.
In that movie, Graffiti Bridge, David TC was the rapper. And at the end of the movie, Prince thought it was a joke to let him rap at the end of the movie. Because he, all through the movie, when it was done right, he used to go, let me rap. And Prince would always be like, yeah, no. And then, so at the end of the movie, that was during the credits. That's when he did his rap.
Then he rapped.
I worked on his album too. Me, Levi, and a couple people worked on some albums out there.
Yeah, man. Proud of what he's done, man. That's an amazing. He has one out in Vegas too, right?
Yeah, one out here, and then it went left, but he's still trying to get it back up and running.
Right. Well, yeah, he's definitely on my hit list to have on here. And I also told, like I said, last time I talked to him, I said, man, I would love to have one of those schools here in Kansas City, man, because there's a lot of kids that fall through the cracks trying to go to regular school when they're gifted. They're gifted in other areas.
You know how they say you started from the bottom, and then we here. He started that school from the bottom, bro.
Yeah, he did.
It's a nice day. Keep doing it.
Proud
Another one that we proud of. That riot was 1 block away.
Wow.
When they was, you know where that Target is?
Yeah.
They burned it down. They went in and looted that Target. When you go back down a little square block, it was across his school is across the street from where Arnella's was.
Yeah, yeah.
So then he got out there and was guarding it because he had some people over there and they was making sure wasn't nobody going.
Actually, when I rode over to his school, I remember driving over there. I'm like, man, we used to hang out over here because the White Castle was like a couple of blocks down,
right on University of Lexington.
Yeah, University of Lexington. Then up the way, we would bowl all night up at Midway. That was our life, man. We would bowl all night. I remember bowling, man.
Hanging a long night of partying and doing music.
Right, I know. And we were bowling with Sue Ann. We was bowling with Malia Franklin of Parliament Funkadelic. I mean, that, and God rest her soul, man. She was so cool, man. I mean, and we're just kids trying to make it, and we're hanging out with legends.
Right.
And we don't even realize it.
Another quick story, but for us back then, you know, people was legends, but they didn't know it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And even the ones that were, one of the things that Prince liked, here's a Prince story, that he liked so much about Minnesota or Minneapolis, but he could just be himself. Yeah. He could walk around on the street and people be like, oh, Prince, huh? Well, man, we went to Chicago and we had police barriers. We had all kind of, man, it was crazy.
I know.
And then when we was in Paris, and then it was just crazy. And then he would get home and go walking. It'd be Thursday night. Half the time he would ditch Gilbert and them, and then sometimes I won't say all the time, but sometimes he would ditch them and run up in the bar, and then boom. Then you're looking around, you're like, the Princess walking here? Yeah. Right. And he'd walk in, and then suddenly he called him. You know, there would be a few people. Don't get it twisted. But there'd be a few people that would be like, hey, is that Prince? Then they start bugging him, hey, and talk to him. And then they would use security for staff. And then by then he'd been on the phone. Oh wait, I gotta do this invitation. He would get on the phone. Remember that big old brick? he called Gilbert and say, oh, y'all need to get here. I'm at First Avenue. Get over here right now. So then they get over there and hang out and rectify things. But that was the thing. And then there's one more. I got one I can tell. One time I kidnapped him. Wait, did he kidnap me or I kidnapped?
I think he kidnapped you. He kidnapped you.
We kidnapped each other. Because I was standing outside of First Avenue, and he had a black BMW with fur in it. And he used to pull outside of First Avenue, and he'd run in the club or not. But I was standing out here running my mouth like I do, because if you know me, I know how to run my mouth. So I'm out here clowning, and then he pulls up. He says, "Cowboy." I said, "What's up, brother?" And he's like, "Get in the car." And I was like, "Where are we going?" He said, "I want to play something for you." And we got in the car, man. This fool took off, and he didn't even have no license. So we went running, we were rolling down the freeway, blaring this song, dude. And I'm like, down, and then I'm doing the fucking thing. I said, oh yeah, I need to play this. I'm playing this. And if we get downtown, so we was downtown because the original Arnella's before it was downtown.
Right.
And I said, I got something for you. Just run up in this club with me. He's like, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I could drop you off. I said, no, you dropping me back off First Avenue. So then he goes in the club with me, right? So we go in the club. Arnella looks, and then her son looks up, and it was Clarky's night, and he looks up and he says, and he mouthed to me, and everybody was like, yeah. Nobody knew for a second. So he used to like sweet drinks, so we got him a little daiquiri. No, it wasn't no daiquiri, it was a pina colada. And then I did me a shot, and then we get back out in front, so we left. I mean, it was cool because that was the hood. Like all the hood folks was at that club.
Right.
The name escapes me right now, but it used to be PJ Clark, but it's called something else. No, the Metro, I think. Now it was called something, but anyway, we get back in front of First Avenue. Gilbert's looking at me like, Cowboy, what's your problem? I said, what do you mean what's the problem? He said, you can't just take Prince off nowhere without. I said, man, Prince took me first, and then I took him. So you gonna get mad. I said, now, brother, don't forget who got you.
Driving. He's driving.
Because me, I used to call it out. I said, now don't forget who got you this job. So don't get too twisted with me. Because I will talk some shit on you. I was being funny. We was outside of First Avenue, but that's cute. That's a good one I can tell right there. And that was funny. So I think that was like 1980 something, 1989 in that area somewhere. Yeah. So I think you got me, huh?
No, I was gonna say
got me a spill one.
Yeah, I one of my favorite Prince stories is with me and Lance, and he shows up at First Avenue, and you know, every now and then, you know, this Cowboy, that Prince would actually go and dance. He would find some girl and dance, you know, for a little bit, you know, and he'd get that out of his system and go back wherever he was. So this was
one lucky lady in the bar,
right?
Let her dance
Exactly.
And usually fine as hell and light skinned with black hair.
Yep. Absolutely. So he's on his way down through the crowd, and Lance grabs his elbow and touches his elbow, and he turns around. And he's like, what? He's like, and Lance is like, you looking for a funk band? And he's like, what?
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that? Are you looking for a funk band? He's like, what? Are you looking for a funk band? And then Prince looks at him and says, what's the matter with my funk? And then walked away like he's floating. Like you said, like it looks like he's floating.
Yeah, he's wearing them heels.
It looks like he's floating away, man. And I just stood there with my mouth open. I was like, damn, that was jacked. It's like,
what was even funnier to see, that was about that time when y'all thought, man, you ain't moving fast enough.
Right.
I said,
right.
Man, I got this. No, well, I think, and then, you know, because Muggs was full of themselves, but I love that because we had moxie.
Yeah, we did have moxie, man.
Someone moving fast enough for you, we try to make it move. And I got to hearing that. I remember that story because he goes, man, your little friends. I said, those aren't my friends. That's my band. And he was like, well, whatever your band is, he says, I know y'all hungry. I said, yeah. And I did this. I said, yeah, they're hungry. It was like I would switch back my band to them.
Right.
Yeah, he said, but if you could just cool it a little bit. I said, them dudes is not nothing. Because right now, this is the time, this is the place. And if we wouldn't have moved and did the things that we done, we wouldn't be here talking about it. That's all it was.
Right, man. That's right.
Let's do it.
I know,
why you do that? We could. Why you throwing them after hours parties? Because I can. How you get on them people out of jail? Because I had the money.
That's right. That's right.
That's another story during the Super Bowl back in whenever it was there in 80 something. That was the after hour party. See, we can do a part 12 of this.
I know, right? I know. But I'm going to let you go, man, because I know you got things to do, man. But thank you so much for coming on the program, man. And let's do it again. We'll tell some more stories. But I wanted to give people some context as far as our connection to Minneapolis, and of course, we are one of the branches on Prince's tree, and that's a lot of that is because of you, man, and what you did for us, man. And again, I can't tell you.
Done because that was how it's supposed to be done, my brother.
Yep.
All inclusive. Kind of like the Mexican vacations people be taking, going to Hawaii. It's all included. The liquor, the girls, the fun, the music. If you don't include somebody, you never know. So y'all went out and met people, and they said, "Don't you deal with them people?" I was like, "Yeah, we like them." Oh, well, next time you come, bring some friends, and see that was all building. It was
Right.
part of the one part of the thing wasn't right. None of it would have happened, man. But
Yeah.
if I had a chance to do it again, and I had to do it exactly the same way,
I wouldn't
most
change
people would
a
have
thing.
changed this. But if you change anything, it won't be the same. I
I
wouldn't change.
wouldn't change a thing, man.
Yep.
I wouldn't change
I
a
would
thing.
be a little bit butthurt on some shit, but you know what I'm saying. But the bottom line is, I do it again. I do it again in a flash, knowing that I can come back to this because you know they sing a song about I'm free, baby. That's what it is.
That's right, man.
So anyway, y'all remember in closing, this too shall pass.
Yes.
Just sit down. Just it's going to get better. I promise it'll get better. It'll get better before it get worse. Feel like that.
Well,
so,
we are at a
pivotal
time in history, Cowboy, and but I appreciate you taking the time. Be safe out there in Vegas. You know, that shirt, wear it proudly, because
this one?
That's a mouthful. That's a mouthful. Make racism wrong again.
See, and I do have my mask that y'all said I was talking. So when I'm done here, I'm gonna put my mask on.
Put your mask on.
Look like I'm about to rob somebody, but
you got one of those. You got one of those Star Trek masks. One of those heavy duty.
Wait till you see the one I'm getting. I got one that light up.
They gonna see
I got
you.
The one that light up, and then I got another one that's lit. And my name running across my mouth, so I ain't got to talk to nobody. What's your name? I push a button and then it say Cowboy across. That one's kind of funny, but I'm working on that one. But
yeah, that's
anyway,
a good idea, man. I love you, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Tell the family hello.
I will, brother.
And, anybody else, tell them what's good, y'all. I keep putting this other one down. I'm sorry I'm making y'all look at trees.
Yeah,
I'm just.
I usually have your fans. Your fans, man.
But anyway, look for the live stream coming up. I think I got country coming up. I got blues coming up. I got I'm doing every genre of music until this pandemic is over. So every show.
I got a special request. Will you play some Glide by Pleasure? Some fit.
Yes. Matter of fact, I got a show coming up where I'm going to go into a box of old tapes because what I do have is grand jury tapes, and I do have unreleased bunch of stuff. Which album were laying nameless, and then I got a tape of Mint Condition before there was Mint Condition. Their group was called Rap Art. I want to do just tapes. I want to just do Minnesota music. I'm gonna call it the demo days.
The demo days.
Show as soon as I figure out, I got some sound issues that I'm trying to get squared away, and then we're doing them. I've been fighting with Facebook about rights to stuff, and just so y'all know, when I'm mad talking crazy about that, I've won every dispute against them playing music. When they hit me up with that, I don't have the rights. I hit them up with these legal words that I got because I know some legal stuff. I'm not totally just crazy. I'm crazy smart. So I hit them with that, and they hit me back, and they say Warner Brothers and Sony always release that music back. So those shows that I did in the past with that they muted because of the rights, I've been winning. Matter of fact, I just won 2 before I got here Wednesday. So just so y'all know, I'm trying to work that out. I'm gonna try to go big on it. I'm trying to get some DJs from back in the day that really been doing it.
Right.
There's a difference in DJs, and some DJs, their mama went out and bought them a whole bunch of music. But the kind of DJ that I am, and some of the other A-list DJs, people give us music to play. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I have the right from the record company because they sent us promos.
Right.
So you feel me? So every time I'm laughing, I say, okay, keep on doing that. So I'm working on stuff to get that done. And as soon as I get home, I'm going to do something because I need to go live. I'm having a little itch.
All right, bro.
So I'm going to go spend some money and have some adult beverages.
Be safe, my man.
And I'm going to see y'all in the ether somewhere.
Absolutely, brother. Love you, Cowboy. Take care, brother. Be safe.
My boy D, it's behind the story behind the music. I'll look that up on YouTube. Look at some of the other ones. Don't just look at this one. The other.
Oh, I got rid of you too soon.
Huh? Oh,
I got rid of you too soon.
Premature. You're premature with them fingers. But it's getting ready to be after. What time is it? It's getting ready to be after 9. So I
It's
go
9.
into my blue. I go into my blue section of speaking.
All right. All right.
Probably need to start talking different.
The after dark. Yeah. Your little bass. Hey man, I'm out. I'm gonna let you go, man.
Right,
love you, man. Peace.
Deuces. All right, brother.
Peace. DJ Cowboy. My goodness. Oh, we only gave you just the beginning of the stories that we have, and it was so good to have him on. Thank you for watching Story Behind the Music. Make sure you share this. You can follow us on Instagram. You can also like us and like our page on Facebook, and also subscribe to our YouTube page, Story Behind the Music. Please find us on YouTube and just continue to watch us. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with another guest. I'll tell you who that is. I'll give you a little clue. I'm hoping to either have Brown Mark or Sheila E. That's what I'm hoping for. Brown Mark or Sheila E. That's my hope. We'll see if that can happen. So they're very scheduled, and they're busy doing things, and of course, we just have to hopefully make that happen. But looking at hopefully Brown Mark or Sheila E. in 2 weeks. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Hucky. Thank you, Suede Black. Thank you, Sash. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, all of you that have commented. And just, I hope you enjoyed it. That was just me and an old friend just chopping it up, talking about our days back in the Twin Cities, back in Minneapolis, back in the mid 80s. And again, like he said, I would not change a thing. Those are some of the best years of my life. And I'm so glad to be affiliated with that city and with the music scene there. I'm out. It's been another edition of Story Behind the Music. We'll see you next time, 2 weeks. But maybe we'll have another watch party with this one if you enjoyed it. Take care.